Many people have only seen tornadoes in Hollywood movies, as the United States experiences about 65 tornadoes each year. But how do tornadoes form, and how dangerous can they be? What's the difference between a tornado, a hurricane, a typhoon, and a cyclone? And why do most of the world's tornadoes occur in a small part of the United States? Welcome back to another video by Zine TV. A tornado is a spinning tunnel of clouds that extends from the sky to the ground. Most tornadoes are weak, but some can be powerful enough to destroy anything in their path. Tornadoes can be found on every continent except Antarctica, varying in strength. Each year, around 2,000 tornadoes are recorded worldwide, with 1,300 occurring in the United States. These tornadoes are often the most dangerous. In the U.S., there's a region known as Tornado Alley, encompassing Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, which produces nearly 800 tornadoes annually. The ideal conditions for tornadoes are commonly found in this area. Before we understand why Tornado Alley produces the most tornadoes, we need to know how tornadoes form. Tornadoes typically develop during thunderstorms, especially a type called supercells. Supercells form when winds at ground level blow in one direction and winds higher up blow in another, creating a rotating wind tunnel. Initially, this wind tunnel is horizontal and harmless, but when it encounters rising warm, moist air, it tilts vertically, transforming into a dangerous supercell. As water vapor continues to rise and gather in the supercell, its size and power increase. If conditions are right, this supercell can produce one or more funnel clouds that touch the ground and become tornadoes. Tornadoes can have winds spinning at speeds up to 480 kilometers per hour, capable of uprooting streetlights, trees, and even the roofs of buildings. These powerful winds can also lift and throw people, animals, and vehicles. The unique weather conditions in Tornado Alley, where warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico meets cold, dry air from the west, create perfect conditions for supercells and tornadoes. In contrast, tropical storms like hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are essentially the same weather phenomenon, but are named differently based on where they occur. Hurricanes form in the North Atlantic and Eastern Pacific, typhoons in the Northwestern Pacific, and cyclones in the Indian Ocean. These storms are much larger than tornadoes, with the largest hurricanes spanning up to 1,600 kilometers, while the largest tornadoes are only about 2 kilometers wide. However, tornadoes can have much faster wind speeds than hurricanes. While hurricanes can be forecasted 36 hours in advance, tornadoes are much harder to predict, with only about 13 minutes of warning on average. This sudden onset makes tornadoes particularly deadly. For example, on the evening of May 3, 1999, a tornado struck Oklahoma City, quickly intensifying from a Category 4 to a Category 5. This historic tornado, known as the Bridge Creek Moore tornado, caused $1 billion in damage and took 36 lives. Tornadoes can also form over water, known as waterspouts. For instance, on November 25, 2018, tourists on Koh Lipe Island in Thailand witnessed 4 waterspouts simultaneously touching down on the sea surface, demonstrating their power. Although we can't stop these storms, we can mitigate their damage. Meteorological departments use weather satellites to monitor and forecast storms, providing early warnings to local authorities to prepare and protect people. A tornado, or twister, forms from clouds and consists of high-speed winds that can reach up to 480 kilometers per hour. These winds can capture and hurl anything in their path, including streetlights, signboards, trees, windows, and even the roofs of solid houses. They are powerful enough to lift and throw humans and animals and can also change the direction of vehicles. As a tornado travels, it picks up debris and scatters it over large distances, causing extensive damage. Tornado Alley in the United States has the perfect conditions for tornado formation. Warm, humid winds from the Gulf of Mexico travel northward, while cooler, higher altitude winds from the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of California move eastward over the mountains. These intersecting winds create a wind tunnel. The warm, moist air from the Gulf rises, making this tunnel vertical and forming a supercell. Not every supercell produces a tornado. Often, Heavy rain or hail cools the rising water vapor, breaking the cycle. However, in Tornado Alley, strong winds from the west prevent rain from falling, maintaining the evaporation process and allowing the supercell to grow. The longer the supercell persists, the greater the chances of funnel clouds and tornadoes forming. This is why Tornado Alley, covering Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, sees around 800 tornadoes annually. In addition to tornadoes, there are other types of storms such as hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones. These are all tropical storms named based on their location. Typhoons form in the northwestern Pacific Ocean near Japan, South Korea, and the eastern Russian border. Cyclones originate in the Indian Ocean, and hurricanes develop in the North Atlantic or eastern Pacific Ocean. While similar, these storms differ significantly from tornadoes, especially in size. Hurricanes can span up to 1,600 kilometers, whereas the largest tornadoes are only about 2 kilometers wide. Despite their smaller size, tornadoes can be just as destructive as hurricanes. The most powerful hurricanes, classified as Category 5, have wind speeds up to 250 kilometers per hour. In contrast, the most powerful tornadoes can exceed 480 kilometers per hour, nearly double the speed of a Category 5 hurricane. While hurricanes can be forecasted 36 hours in advance, tornadoes are much more unpredictable, with only a 13-minute warning. This unpredictability means tornadoes strike suddenly. For instance, on the evening of May 3, 1999, at 6:02 p.m., a tornado unexpectedly hit Oklahoma City. Initially categorized as an EF4, it soon intensified into a devastating EF5. Over 85 minutes, it caused $1 billion in damage, claimed 36 lives, and finally dissipated. This tornado, known as the Bridge Creek Moore tornado, is the largest recorded in history. On that same day, a total of 71 tornadoes struck various locations across 5 states in Tornado Alley. Another remarkable event occurred on November 25, 2018, near Thailand's Koh Lipe Island, where tourists witnessed 4 simultaneous tornadoes touching the sea. While tornadoes over water, known as waterspouts, are typically less powerful than those on land, they can still cause significant damage, flipping boats or structures in their path. Footage from the incident showed these waterspouts lifting the water surface significantly, demonstrating their strength. Although we cannot prevent these storms, we can mitigate their damage. Meteorological departments, using weather satellites, monitor storm development over the sea every 5 minutes. They track the direction, speed, and intensity of storms, providing estimates and alerting local authorities in advance. This proactive approach helps reduce the potential damage from such natural disasters. Thank you for watching this video on Zeem TV. Please like, share, and comment. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more exciting videos.